I think the frame of reference with some of this stuff is also really important too, where, if you say we're going to, you know, we're really committed to this very particular thing and we're going to take one step to the right of it, saying that we're doubling down on that thing, open source, versus we were having to make a decision between moving to a fully closed source proprietary thing, and this was the best set of compromises that we came up with. The exact same action, very different framing. And I think, would probably be received very different. And I think the way that, the marketing and the messaging around these kinds of changes are just so crucially important.
You're absolutely right about the framing, Avi. It's like, again, Gmail is not open source. YouTube's not open source. Facebook is not open source. They're not even source available, right? And like, we're not talking about that. Nobody's like, hey, why isn't, hey, Google, why isn't Google search, open source? It's like, I think you're right about the framing, but like, why are companies like Sentry and Elastic, in a sense, getting punished for trying to do something that's, I think, better than what we see, from companies that are, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we don't care. But I think the point is, like, we haven't seen, to date, open source is Linux. It's Apache Web Server. It's like, it's these lower level projects. Like, name an end user product that anybody that's not in tech knows about and uses and has on their phone that's truly open source. I mean,
well, it's a matter of framing, a matter of expectations, right? Like, Google makes they don't talk about open source, so no one's up in arms.
Then you have to get back into the why do we care about open source in the first place?
Yeah, and again, I'm not trying to pick on you, Chad. Please don't feel like we are here to pick on you, Chad. We are not
corporate venture backed.
No.
Me too.
No, because
Me too.
Here's my philosophy is that, open source has become, kind of ubiquitous with a lot of software development because there's a lot of great stuff about it, but it is not necessarily for every project. And as you're saying, with SaaS projects, a lot of the open source stuff wasn't designed even with that as in mind, because it didn't exist.
Yeah.
And so as we start to look at, hey, we want to take these 5 things and we want to invent something new. And that's why I do really appreciate you coming out and saying, like, hey, we heard this comment from what was it, the founder of Chef, right? Who was like, call it yourself on your own values. And I think that's beautiful, right? Because
super agree.
What it does is it says, like, we do value this stuff, but we recognize that this one tenet is causing us, it's preventing us from, creating a commercially viable product and building a sustainable ecosystem.
Here's a ticket. Sorry.
Yeah. And I think that is a fine way to do it, right? I do.